Today we're doing a mock test with Arron. I've never met this guy before, and tell him about your driving experience, Adam. Arron, sorry.
Arron.
I've just had Adam before you, actually.
So I've been driving insured on my mum's van for about 8 months.
He's drove all over. Tell him where you've been driving.
Been to Kendal. Yesterday I drove back from Roker. I drive to Newcastle quite often, and every time we go out in the car, we pretty much share the journeys.
Right. He's never had a driving lesson with a driving instructor. So he wants to do a mock test. He has a driving test booked. Tell him when it's booked for.
It's booked for the 7th of March.
7th of March. What time?
At 7 minutes past 2.
7 minutes past 2. It's not 2:32. It's normally 2:32. I don't think it's one at 7 minutes past 2. Right.
Might be wrong.
Okay then. Have you any questions before we start?
No. I'm happy to have
if you want, I can email this off to you if you want. Right. So, Arron, how do you spell? Is it A-R-R-O-N?
A-R-R-O-N.
A-R-R-O-N, yeah?
Yeah.
Says on. Right. The test is going to last about 38 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to take in various traffic and road conditions, one manoeuvre, possibly the control stop. Have you done that? The control emergency stop?
Yes, I have.
You have? Good.
Done it in this industrial estate.
And you will be driving independent by way of sat-nav signs. I'm just going to give you signs here. Okay, so I just like to follow signs. It's going to last about 20 minutes. Follow the road ahead at all times unless you're directed by signs or markings, or I'll ask you to turn, which you will do some good time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, when you're ready, off you go. Now, one question, how would you check your indicator lights working before starting the journey?
You put your you put your hazard lights on and walk around the car and check.
Good stuff. Now, you just chill. I think you're a brave man, very brave man to do this, so when you're ready, give it your best shot. So at the end of the road, we're turning left. Minor fault number 1, Arron. You just, when you moved off, you just looked in your your middle mirror, sorry. You should have been looking in that right dormer and over your right shoulder to check your blind spot. Had there been a pedestrian just crossing from the back of the car in front and you moved up, I would have given you a serious fault straight away. Or had there been a car overtaken or a cyclist, anything motorbike, then you would have recorded a serious fault. At the end of the road, turn left. Minor fault number 2, Arron. What happens is you force the gears. I don't know whether you're a bit nervous or not, but that is one of the worst mistakes you can do when changing gear, is force them. You are not driving a dumper truck. You just need to guide the gears to where they want to go. You shove it into first from second instead of third. You do realise when you bring the clutch up and you react straight away. Sometimes I wouldn't mark this, but I think this warrants a minor fault. I have had pupils fail for this, by the way. A guy shoved it into first at the start of a test, and he brought the clutch up. The car jerked really badly, and there's a car close behind. But you're getting away with that, so minor fault number 2.
Damn, that's first.
Pull up just before this park car. Minor fault number 3 goes down to use of mirrors before change of speed. When you ask to pull up on left, Arron, you have to check your mirrors to see if you need a signal, see if there's anybody close behind. Had there been somebody close behind and you did not signal, then you would have recorded a serious fault straight away. Probably could have considered a signal here just to tell this learner in front that you were pulling up. They could have been moving off. We didn't know that they were just going to be sitting there. But yeah, when pulling up, carry out the mirror signal manoeuvre routine. Okay, start of independent drive. Drive to the end of the road and turn left and follow signs for Darlington. Minor fault number 4, Arron. You did not look over your right shoulder. You need that right shoulder check to see what's on the other side of that road. I've had pupils fail instantly because there's been something there. You're getting away with it today, but you need to look over the shoulder. I like your signal to move off to tell this van and the other car that you're moving off, the learner driver. But check your blind spot first of all before you release that parking brake. Left then Darling. It's going to last about 20 minutes. Following the signs for Darlington. Arron, what I've noticed on a lot of your junction work is you don't use your brake to slow the car down. When people were taught to drive in the 1900s, they were taught to change down through every gear to help with engine braking because the braking systems were very, very poor. But modern engines and the efficiency of braking systems today often make it unnecessary to change down every gear. So as a general guideline, it's better to slow down with a brake and then change down, match the gear to the speed of the car. Missing out gears at the appropriate time will give you more time to concentrate on the road ahead and allow you to keep both hands on the wheel, on the steering wheel for longer. Driver fault number 5, Arron, goes down to gears. You're selecting the wrong gear. Now, learner drivers have 3 bad habits when it comes to changing gear, and you have got 2 of them. The first one is you're looking at gears. When you are driving a car, your eyes should be on that road at all times. You should not be looking at that gear lever. You should have a mental picture, layout of the gears in that head of yours. I've had pupils mount roundabouts because they've looked at gears. And the other one is you force the gears. You should hold that gear lever like you should hold in the baby's hand. The smooth, even movements are the best. Smooth gear changes are the mark of a good driver. You're just being a bit heavy-handed and ragging the gear lever. So these is bad habits you need to get out and get rid of straight away. Following the signs for Bishop Auckland, it's the A6 area. Minor fault number 6 goes down to undue hesitation. You should have just followed this van in. You're not blocking any other traffic. It's a roundabout controlled by traffic lights, so you should have just followed in. Now, you didn't stop aggressively. Had you done that and the car behind had to brake heavy because they didn't anticipate you stopping here at this green light, then you could have been looking at a serious fault, but you should have just followed the van in. Loads of room. Sides for Minor fault number 7, Arron goes down to use of mirrors. You didn't look at mirrors before you indicated right. You should have been checking behind, see if there's anything driving really close. Then you should have been looking in that right door mirror. It could have a motorbike overtaken, so you've got to make sure it's safe to give that signal. It's not signpost, it's about the traffic lights turn right. Serious fault number 1 for you, Arron. Arron, what happens here is you drive, when this white car emerges out, there's another car in front of you, turn right, and it's blocking your view of the car that's coming up the road. It's coming up quite quickly. Now what you should do, because it was blocking your view, you didn't see the car and I did. So you start to pull out quite quickly, and that is why I duel you. But when I did duel you, you also went for the brakes, but when I do it, it is last resort. What you should have done is crawl in, just drive slowly in to see if there's any oncoming traffic, and then drive the car out at a junction when it's clear. You pull up in a convenient place on the left. Thank you. Are you driving when you feel like it? Serious fault number 2 for you, Arron. Arron, this is the third time you've not looked over your right shoulder, so this now becomes a serious fault. You've got to check that blind spot before moving off. Dear me, I've had cyclists, pedestrians crossing the road, vehicles pulling up from the other side. So it's got to be looked over. You've got to look over your shoulder, Arron. Roundabout, follow the road ahead, it's the second exit. Right, I want you to reverse into one of these beers. Can you tell me which one you're going to pick? Reverse it in which one you're going to pick.
I'll pick this one here.
Right.
Is it alright if I pick a one that I can see my mirror?
You can pick any beer you want. Thank you. Now if you turn left out of here. Well done with this, Arron. I think your mum's taught you well. Yeah, a little bit more observations needed through the rear window when reversing. I know there was a fence and a strip of grass behind us, but I still would have taken some direct observation through the back window. I do like the way you do it, but you wouldn't be able to go this far if you do it at the test centre because you haven't got that much room. But you've getting the car in. I like how you looked all around before you start the manoeuvre because that red Mini was wondering what you were doing. Now, had you just carried on with the manoeuvre without looking and the red Mini had started to drive past you, then you would have recorded a serious fault. So, good observations. Well done with this. No faults recorded. Roundabout, turn left. Minor fault number 8, Arron. You need to look for the timing of the signal. You should have drove past the parked cars, seen the junction, then put the signal on when you were level. If there'd been a car there, they might have think you were turning into that junction, and some people do pull out. Serious fault number 3, Arron. Arron, every learner would have failed here. When you come round this bend, you should have scanned down the left and right hand sides of the road and you would have clocked this crossing. Now when we come round the bend, we could see those pedestrians standing to the right, so there's a good chance these were going to change. Now you actually cover the brake, but you're covering the brake for the car in front that's braking. You didn't scan the crossing and you didn't realise the lights were changing. So really you should have scanned both sides of the crossing, clock the pedestrian stand there, check the mirror and take the foot off gas and be ready to stop. Turn left. Serious fault number 4. In fact, this would be a dangerous fault, this one, Arron. Arron, I see this every day of the week, so you learners all do the same tripe. So looking to the right, you can see this van coming round to the right. It's coming from your right, so and it's not indicating. Couldn't see properly, so you should have just been rolling up and putting it into first gear. What you do is you pull out, and I have to dual you again. Now on the driving test report form, the examiner will mark it that he's took physical action. You have now got the record, young man. This is the first time I think I've duelled somebody 3 times in a mock test. I think I've duelled quite a few 2 times, but I don't think I've ever done 3. I can't remember off the top of my head. But don't beat yourself up. This is what learners do. Yeah, there's a couple of pan there, look. Put your clutch down, put it in the first gear. No, put it in the first.
Could have went then.
Serious fault number 4 for you, Arron. Arron, I'm not sure what you're playing at here, but you speed all the way along this road, mainly doing 45. It was a 40 road. I thought you clocked the 40 signs, but you got up to speeds of 47 miles per hour. If there'd been a police camera there, a police van, then you'd be collecting penalty points and a fine on your license. And remember, when you do pass your test, you are on probation for 2 years. What that means is, if you get 6 points within 2 years, you have to apply for your provisional again, then your theory test, and then your driving test. Now, I'm sure I read somewhere that if you hit somebody at 30 miles per hour, it's the equivalent of falling out of a 3-story building. Now, if your speed creeps up to 38, 39 miles per hour, it's the equivalent of falling out of a 5-story building. So, you could get a kid easy run out in front of you, so you've got to be watching your speed on roads like this. Arron, thank you for your time today. Thoroughly enjoyed this. You have some good driving skills, but you need to go to the next level. What I mean by this is you need to read the road more. You need to look at the near distance, the middle, the far. You need to look down the left and right hand sides of the road. Your driving needs to be a smooth on approach to junctions, roundabouts. Gears should be just light touches. Just read the road more and just drive that a little bit slow. Don't go the other way and drive like really slow like my old granny now. You just need to just read the road more. Take your time when you see hazards and that. Keep scanning the road and you should be fine. You've got some good driving skills. And I have to take my hat off to your mum, because I bet you put her through some scary moments. I think you should be treating her to a big bunch of flowers. But just take the edge off your speed. Drive a bit smooth, and I'm sure you've got it in the bag. Right, how do you think you're doing?
Yeah, I made some mistakes, and I don't like to make excuses, but I'm going to blame not being used to the car.
Right, okay, I get that. Just save this. Arron, Is it Arron you said, yeah?
Yes.
Right. Right. How many serious faults do you think you've got?
2, maybe 3.
5, I think.
Oh,
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Right. What, that middle pedal, what is it?
a brake. I'm not using it enough.
You don't use it. You know, when I was taught to drive, you were taught to go through every gear. Now, what you should be doing is sometimes you come around, but you're not even using the brake. You're just going for gears. You need to slow down. You have a very aggressive driving style, so it needs to be smoother. I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got some good stuff there, but use that brake to slow the car down. That's what it's for, isn't it? It's more sympathetic, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at the serious faults. What's that one?
Moving off safely.
Right, now you know on video when they don't look over the shoulder what happens.
You can get to see a blind spot.
You didn't check them, did you?
No.
No. So you kept repeating that, so it became a serious fault. The next one was the traffic lights. What were you thinking of the traffic lights?
When I had to turn right and there was a car coming.
Yay! Go on, can you explain that one? So we were turning right.
Yep, I have to give way to these.
Yes. Now there was a we would turn right. There's another car turn right, wasn't it? But there was a car coming up the left-hand side of that one. Can you remember?
Yeah.
Now,
and I went to go and then I seen it and you had to. Well, I pressed it at the same time as you.
Yes, I'm going to be honest. You're absolutely right. So as you were going in, now to me this car was going quite fast. What I would have done was I wouldn't have even gone to the go. I would have just drove in and just stopped a meter back. But when I went for the brakes, what did you do? When I went for the pedals, what did you do straight away?
I went to brake as well.
You went to brake as well. But now why I've given you a serious fault for this, because when I do it, it's last resort. Yeah, I'll give you a benefit of the doubt. You did use your brakes. You did go as soon as I went. You went. But when I done it, it was last resort. You shouldn't have done that. You agree?
Yes.
So all you had to do was just drive in slowly, check that car that was coming straight ahead, and just stop a meter back. Yeah. But you did go for them when I went for them. But like I say, it's last resort. So that was the second one. Can you think of anything else?
At a roundabout, I nearly pulled out, and there was a van coming.
Yeah. Can you explain that?
I'm gonna say it was bright. When you said, "Oh, there's a van coming," I didn't even notice the van until after you'd said it. So I'm just gonna say it was bright, and the visibility in this car compared to my mum's, I feel like it's a lot more easier to see it all around us.
Right. Well, this was a roundabout. Now, I felt that you'd seen the van, but if there's a car coming from your right, or a van, what should you do?
Give way.
Give way. Well, you just weren't going to pull out in front of it. Then, now you seen a car come round in the right lane. What did you do? You went. You shouldn't have gone.
Yes, and I shouldn't have, because he got to exit off in the left lane.
Yes, exactly. What did he do? He had to exit off in the
right lane.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have gone there. So that was a serious fault. But you kind of go if they're coming from your right, can you?
No.
Right, the next one. What's that say?
Pedestrian crossings.
Go on and explain that one. Compass crossing just before the mini roundabout. Can you remember? It wasn't that type of crossing. What type was it? So as you were approaching the crossing, now there was cars blocking your view here, but back here you could see there's pedestrians standing there. So what should you been doing with your speed?
Slowing down, but
go on then.
I didn't even see them.
You didn't see them, did you?
No.
So when you drive a car, look, when you come around that bend, you've got to look down the left and right hand sides of the road. Near distance, middle and far, keep your eyes moving. I noticed you didn't see them because I couldn't let you go through there. There's people waiting to cross, and there's a number here. So you should have just stopped. Anything else?
No, those are the ones that I could think of myself.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There was one other one.
Yeah.
You were driving down a 30 road. past the school on the right hand side at Millston, not Millston, we were Tudor. Right, now you were on a 30 road, sorry, and then it changed to 40 when you went past the school. Then you got up to 46 miles per hour.
Oh, really?
45, you speeded all the way down the road. All the way, most of the way you speeded until we come in where there's a bit build up, and then you're doing about 44. Yeah, so you've got to watch your speed. Now, other things you need to improve on is your mirror work. It's a little bit inconsistent. Gear faults, mirror work really, and gear faults.
Gear fault, selecting the wrong gear.
Yes, do you know why you select the wrong gear? Because you're changing the gears if you're driving a dumper truck. We're not driving a dumper truck, we're just driving a little mini load. But you are put them in. You're very aggressive. Your driving style is very aggressive. You need to take the edge off your speed. When you're approaching roundabouts, you need to slow down with the brake, then match the gear to the speed instead of just going for any gear.
Yeah.
And you need to improve on your mirror work. But overall, I think it's not that bad. Right, have you any questions before we go?
No. So, yeah, what should we do next?
Prayer.